think it had a tremendous impact. The real problem in the schools was not what we thought it was. It was really the fact that the people who controlled them were controlling them as if they were part of a political fiefdom and not as if they had anything to do with the well-being of children. It's remarkable how little role the children had in the thinking of the leaders of the school system. We were writing about the state's public schools as if there was a state system, whereas in fact there were something like 180 local systems, each of which had their own rules, their own secrets, their own abuses, and so on. The fear that existed among some parents and other people that if they let it known that they're concerned about their children's educations, or if they let it be known that that the people who ran their school district weren't doing right, that they would be harmed by that. They would, by speaking out, they would be harmed. They might lose a job, or their friends might lose their jobs, or their kids might be mistreated.
Sure.
It was really a disgraceful situation. All the business about taxes, that was really raw. The fact that if you were a friend of the tax assessor or a friend of the superintendent, you can have your properties struck right off the rolls and you didn't have to pay taxes. And that if you were not a friend, you could be paying staggeringly high taxes. And of course, the taxes that didn't get paid came right out of the education of children. It was just such a terrible civic wrong. I mean, keep treating these children as if they don't count in education. It's a whole different game among corrupt politicians, and the kids just have to do without an education to make it possible. I really knew that we had found the key when we started getting all those the batch of, not emails, but of letters to the editor, which was, as I say, I think 17 or 1800. It turned out not just to be passion among parents and people. Parents wanted their kids to get education. People who were paying taxes and getting very little in return for their trouble were angry about it, and others just had a kind of a moral sense and a sense of right and wrong, seeing that this thing was wrong, and that was sort of like a wildfire that just went right through. And I think what set people off in a grassroots sense was all these cases we had of people living in mansions and paying no taxes, people living in shacks and paying a lot of taxes, and on with that sort of thing, which we portrayed very vividly with photographs. It was so corrupt and so vividly corrupt that it had the power to cause change. And
do you think it goes too far to say that this series helped create the context that was needed for that change to happen?
I think it's true. I don't think any one-time period of reform could be adequate. I mean, this thing had been going on for a century,
sure,
maybe more. But it was, to me, very impressive. There was a lot of, much more reform and credible reform and thoughtful reform done than I ever dreamed would happen. I'm still surprised at how much did get done, and not surprised that there's been backsliding. You can't just do it once and expect it to stick forever.